TransByDef, it's Jenna. Sorry I've been away. I had some issues to take care of that required my undivided attention. I need to do a little catching up, so I'm probably going to do a couple videos in succession and get us back on track here. I understand that our friend Harley is feeling better. I'll be back shortly, and I am glad to hear that. Hopefully everything was a non-issue. My topic for today is going to be transgenders in sports, and I have a video on this on my personal page, Jenna 8848, and I have an opinion that is very outside the norm for our community. Basically, in short, I believe that we have the right to participate in any sport we choose just like anybody else, regardless of what it is. Now that's a broad term coming from me, one that I contradict also by saying we do not need to be competing in sports that our former gender, regardless of which direction we're going, our former gender gives us an advantage. And what I mean by an advantage is a physical advantage. For the most part, especially people that transition a little bit later in life than, say, starting in their teens or early 20s, most transgender people have an advantage by bone structure. If you're a male going to female, that gives us an advantage. Body size is larger, our musculoskeletal system is larger, and that physical difference tends to give us an advantage if we were playing as a M2F in a sport that requires body usage. And that has been proven over and over again. There's an amateur fighter that started out as a male and transitioned and pretty much pulled it off, invisibly wise, and they went through all the proper channels to get their ID and acknowledge that their gender shift had been done. And they still, there wasn't a genetic or cis woman that could beat this person. So that's kind of an advantage. It's happened in the golf world. If you've ever been to a golf course, most of them have women's tees and men's tees because there is an advantage for men, so their tees are back further. So those kind of things tend to give an unfair advantage. I know a younger trans woman that played soccer for her college, had a very, played well, and had an advantage also over others. And she got some, her team got some heat over it, but she had transitioned and had done a really good job of blending, and still people contested it. So I don't think we get, personally I don't think we get good press when we exert our right, because we do have it, to participate in these sports, and it is, we are entitled, but I personally don't feel that it's fair, and it brings us bad press when we use that advantage, especially if we're dominating in a sport. I don't take issue in any kind of competition that requires the mind or something that makes a level playing field, but I do feel that there is a distinct advantage if you are participating on a M2F range sport. I'm not really familiar with an F to M, though they might get a pretty good beating playing a contact sport, you know. So why would you do that to yourself? So I'm not certain on that side that the issue is as big as it is on you know, the M to F side. You know, contact sports tend to give advantage. You know, now Kathy likes the shooting sports, and she likes, you know, doing horse riding competitions, and that I wholeheartedly support. I don't take issue with it. But when there's an advantage given by, you know, musculoskeleton size, not that all women are small, but, you know, generally speaking, we have a different body stock size. So I'm weighing in on this, and I know people aren't going to like it, and it's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. But there is a distinct advantage, and you know, my personal feeling is if you're denying that, then you're an ostrich. Put your head in the sand, because it exists and it's real. So that's my weigh-in on this today with sports. I knew I wasn't looking forward to doing this video, because I knew that it was going to go against the community, you know, more or less, and I'm sorry for that, but that's just my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. The last video that I did on something like this, somebody from the male world actually gave me an accolade for standing up and saying it, and couldn't believe that I had the courage to do that. And it wasn't courage, it's just an observation, and one that doesn't really readily lend itself to our community group thought, if you will. So that's my opinion on it. If you are in a sport that requires contact and musculoskeleton, you know, size difference gives you an advantage, then I'm against it. You know, yeah, the hormones, we do lose muscular skeletal strength, but you know, still, in some things, like, you know, it does still give you an unfair advantage. And if you're training for a sport that requires larger muscle mass or body size, even if you're on hormones, you can work out enough to make up for that through diet and everything else. So that's my weigh-in on this week. I look forward to getting everything back on track here. I had some work issues that I had to really concentrate on, and I laxed off a little bit, but I'm back, and I'm going to follow this video up with another one today. So I hope you're all well. I wish the sun would come back out again, and I look forward to Harley rejoining us. I miss her. But that's it. Have a great week, and I'll see you in a little bit. Bye.